Right, I want to propose that there will be one of four general outlooks that we take towards our life. Two of these states I would refer to as being low-level states, tend to be governed by fear. Fear of not being enough, or not having enough, or not being equipped to get enough at some point in the future. All right, makes sense? So two of these mindsets governed by fear, two of them governed by faith. Now, when I say the word faith, I want to take a few moments here to explain what I mean. Because some people, when they hear the word faith, associate this term with belief. Are you of a religious faith? Are you Buddhist or Christian or Islam or Hindu or whatever? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about whether you believe in God or Jesus, right? What I'm talking about is, are you a person of faith? Because we're going to be governed by fear of the worst case scenario happening, or we're going to be governed by faith, a hope and expectation of the best possible outcomes. All right? So faith is what allows us to propel into our futures with confidence and vigor, whereas fear is what holds us back, leads us into a place of self-preservation. We want to protect what we have, or what we feel or perhaps perceive ourselves as not having. All right, makes sense? So let me explain. Sometimes life deals us not too great a hand, right? I get it. I've been dealt a few stinkers over the years, I'll be the first to admit. But we then have options in terms of how it is that we choose to respond to life and the circumstances that we sometimes endure. All right, some people assume that life is something that happens to us. All right, I used to be of this mindset. Life is something that happens to me. You know, life has dealt me a nasty hand. It's kind of like a destiny mindset. When things wouldn't work out, a relationship would fail, I would say things like, oh, we just weren't destined to be together. This job just wasn't right for me. Kind of like, you know, the job wasn't right, or the person wasn't right, or there's something wrong with the economy, all right? But life happens to me. Kind of like, I'm the victimized one. I'm the hard done by one. Oh, poor me. Always got a sob story to tell. And this was very true for the years after I left the military. I spent quite a number of years angry, yes, but I felt victimized. Kind of like I should have had more support from the military. Kind of like my life was someone else's, responsibility or something like that, which is obviously quite an irresponsible way of living life. But when we go through life functioning out of this mindset, if you like, we feel naturally victimized, overwhelmed, usually emotionally overwhelmed, helpless, of the ideology that we have no power. The second level of consciousness, which this is kind of like a state of complete ignorance, if you like. The second state of consciousness, okay, life happens by me, which is different. It's a little bit more empowering, or a little bit more of an empowered way of living life. This is where we assume that we are, in fact, in complete control of determining the outcomes of our life. So we work hard, we strive, we assert ourselves, we go for gold. Because, if I want success and if I want happiness, all I've got to do is work for it. So I'll commit to the pursuit of happiness, and I'll commit to the pursuit of success. And it's significantly better than just being overwhelmed when life would fail when it's crossed the start line, all right? But again, it leads some people into this place of striving, sometimes desperation, working towards the greener grass that is undoubtedly going to be found on the other side of the fence. But if you've ever sought after that green grass before, you've most likely already learned and discovered that the grass is never greener on the other side of the fence. The grass is always only greener where we water it and nurture it the most, which is a concept that not all people, not all managers and leaders understand. There's a lot of people out there pursuing shiny objects. Do you know what I mean by that? Shiny object syndrome. It's not an actual condition. It's just people pursue those new shiny objects rather than working hard and remaining consistent in developing an aspect of life or business or our relationship. And this is why some people will hop from relationship to relationship to relationship. I've known some people who do phenomenally well in terms of their career, demonstrate complete consistency in terms of their character, productivity for a company. but then in their personal life will go from relationship to relationship to relationship. So it's kind of like some people will exercise a set of standards in work and then a very different set of standards outside of work, which costs them consistency and stability in a relationship, right? So some people assume that life happens by me, but what this is generally governed by, believe it or not, is still fear, right? Well, I don't have enough. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough, so I'm just going to work hard and strive and do everything within my power to get what I want, because life will ultimately happen by me, because it will happen by no one else. All right? Generally, a man mind thyself attitude or outlook towards life, one of usually independence, all right? Not interdependence, which is different. Interdependence is about us collaborating and working with people, appreciating other people's strengths and weaknesses. All right, whereas independence is just about us. We are doing it our way. We will make things happen by ourselves. So obviously comes and walks hand in hand with a lot of stress and tension as well. So those are two ways of living life, all right? But at some point we may have a bit of a personal awakening. We may not. I'm not saying for sure. This is going to be determined by you and how open you are to considering new ideas. Some people decide one day that they're here for a reason that's greater than just making money. It's a reason that's greater than just feeling better or feeling happy or having a nice time or getting another relationship or getting a promotion or getting some more money or a bigger house or an extra plot of land for a bigger garden next door or something like that. That's all fine. It's all nice. There's nothing wrong with setting goals. There's nothing wrong with pursuing things in life. It's fine. It's all good. All right? But if we're willing to entertain this idea that life happens through us, then we may consider that we're actually here for a purpose, for a reason. We're in touch with a greater source of life and have faith or trust in a greater good. Now, what I'm not telling you to do here is go and get all religious. I'm not telling you to go and place your trust or faith in a deity. But I'm not telling you not to either. All right. What I'm saying is go and figure out what set of ideologies are actually going to empower you to live life in the most peaceful and fruitful way. All right, figure it out for yourself. I have my worldviews, I have my ideologies. Can I prove them? Absolutely not. Would I therefore share them? Absolutely not. Right, but they do enable me to serve a greater purpose than just feeling happy within myself or making the next, however much money. All right. Serving a purpose that looks like teaching some people, sharing my knowledge, adding some value into the world, based on the assumption that if I drop dead tomorrow, well, I've actually left the world in a slightly better place than what it was when I first came into it, which means that my life was a success. Fantastic. I get to contribute something. So life happens through me. Listen, if you take one idea that I share, right, you receive some sort of aha moment or you have a bit of a personal awakening, then I've just served you. I understand that life gets to happen through me, all right? When I offer a few words of insight or encouragement, and all I'm being is just myself, sharing what it is that I know, all right? Interesting, inspiring. Who knew that life could be so straightforward? What I buy into, and I'm not telling you to buy into the same thing, but I'm sharing what I buy into. I buy into this notion that life happens as me. I am fully responsible. There is no separation between me, any part of me, and all of my outcomes and consequences. I am an extension of all things. Right, so if I experience a bit of stress, a bit of panic, a bit of anger, a bit of frustration, where's that coming from? Me. If I don't like something that someone says or something that someone does, who's that a reflection of? Me. Right? If I am not satisfied, if I am unfulfilled, if I am not as content as what I hope to be, who's responsible for this? Me. Life happens as me. I am either fully responsible for myself or I am sitting back waiting for someone else to take responsibility for myself. All right. I get to choose. All right, so here's what I want to offer you. There is no separation between you, any part of you, and all of your outcomes or consequences. You influence everything. If you don't like how you feel, you're going to be influencing this in some way. You are an extension of all things, right? You have a part to play in this world. There are some people out there who could benefit from you in ways that you perhaps haven't even considered yet. Because life happens as you. More life will happen as you than what will happen when you're trying to be someone or something that you're not.